Hi guys, I'm going to try and not bore you. Can you hear me? Yeah. Try not bore you too much, but I think you deserve a little reminder of what you have done. You remember, 5th month, May 2014, we were all standing outside Manston Terminal. The airport was closing. Out came the people.
The end at the airport was a hugely emotional moment.
We saw them leave, and we didn't give up. We fought for you. A couple of months later, we'd collected over 26,000 signatures, and here we have Dan handing them over to number 10 Downing Street. We didn't stop, neither did River Oak. River Oak started writing to Iris Johnson. Unfortunately, parallel with that, everything goes in parallel. The owners were selling the apparatus, the equipment from the airport. The TDC issued a PIN. We thought things were moving. River Oak formally submitted their wish to be recognised as the TDC indemnity partner. Further items were sold, and Anne Gloag appears, loans some money to Chris Musgrave, Temma Cartner, as we know, to give them some sort of mortgage on the airport. September 2014, SMA Special General Meeting. We incorporated ourselves as an association, and we had these guys and others on our high table. We've received letters from KLM making it quite clear that KLM had been forced to leave Manston by Anne Gloag, and at that stage as well, it was clear that the only remaining indemnity partner was River Oak, and we had a very excellent meeting at TG Aviation with them after a number of meetings with TDC. However, in December, beginning of December, the TDC Extraordinary Cabinet meeting, yes indeed it was extraordinary, decided that no further action be taken at the present time on a CPO of Manston Airport, and this was ratified a few days later at the council meeting. We didn't give in. We were writing daily, hourly, to the Transport Select Committee. You've seen a question from Jennifer. I'm not going to tell you how much she did for that. But in beginning of February, we were up there, a coach load of us. They've told me I should have one of those bouncing things where you could sing along to this. You sold the site to them. Are they the majority of the owners of the airport? Yes. A bit later, they own 80% of it, do they? That's correct. A bit later, Lothian 718 owns the whole site, doesn't it? Yes. Ever seen a turnaround like that? Who owns that? Well, it's actually Anne Gloag that owns it. Where does that 7 million come from, Mr. Bradley, can you tell me? Where does that 7 million come from, Alan McKinnon? Sorry, I can't say. Hey-ho.
1,000 decibels.
Thanet District Council told us that it spent 26,000 on legal advice. Well, I don't need to tell you guys what the latest figures on that are. And even then, they said that it was unlikely to provide TDC with adequate advice. Kent County Council got clobbered as well. Paul Carter put in a rider that Kent County Council would assist the Thanet with the CPO, provided a viable and thriving airport could be delivered at Manston. He had to subsequently admit there was no such caveat in the KCC motion. They showed me nothing. I don't have to tell you those words. Anyway, and the DFT judged that it was necessary to intervene in the Manston case, shows the extent to which Kent County Council failed to fulfil its strategic oversight role. I said a little bit as well, standing up for why Manston is a national asset. And later in the month we were back, coach-load of us, at another Transport Select Committee meeting, and we had a chance to talk to the Minister after the formal hearing, because it was quite clear to us that he was putting, he had been given Anglo's line word for word, and as he said apparently later that evening to Sir Roger, I have been misled from what he'd heard from us, and obviously checked up as well for himself. Running up to the election, well, we had the 5-point plan, Conservative 5-point plan. It's saved, don't worry, we've got the picture, we've got the evidence, we're going to trot this out at every occasion we can. And it is still the Secretary of State for Transport that we have on the line on that one. We know that Sir Roger and Craig McKinley were elected, and in the Thanet Council, Labour just only returned 4 from I think the 22 they had before. And at the first extraordinary council meeting, voted to recommend the Cabinet review its position on the Manston Airport, and that was a 93% pro-Manston vote. However, 5 months later, without the Cabinet's meeting River Oak once, they decided that no further action will be taken at the present time on a CPO of Manston Airport on the basis that River Oak do not fulfil the requirements of the Council for an indemnity partner. We did not stop. We have been putting text to the Secretary of State and the DCLG, and we sent via Sir Roger a whole solid-state drive with 100 megabytes of text and 100 gigabytes of video documenting what we consider to be illegal things happening at TTC meetings. Then we get the DCO. River Oak announced they're pursuing a development consent order. Fantastic. And a few days later, in the beginning, just after Christmas, at the earliest possible date after Christmas, River Oak had a meeting with the Planning Inspectorate. Like a breath of fresh air, positive progress had been made. And less than a week later, it goes live on the National Infrastructure Planning site, the Manston Airport, DCO, and that's where we are, guys. Thanks to you.